Boys episode 41. Here we are, Josh.
40 fun. And I hate doing the number puns.
Then don't.
I got to do it.
You took it there right off the bat.
I always do.
It's okay.
It's fine.
I will forgive you. We have a special show tonight for our 41st episode. Mm-hmm. We have someone that's going to teach us a thing or two about broadcasting.
Something about the biz.
About the way to speak into a microphone, the way to interview someone.
The way to not use number puns.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's already given us a dirty look like fucking amateurs. Yeah. But yeah, before we get into the episode, we just have some quick business to take care of. First and foremost, thank you so much for listening to this show. We're seeing the listenership grow week after week. And it just really means a lot to us, to those of you who listen and come up to us in IRL. In real life, yeah. And tell us that they like what we're doing.
Yeah, that's always nice.
How's that make you feel?
Makes me feel fantastic.
As a young man.
Makes me feel, makes me feel great. It says that we're not just talking to, air.
Basically, no air. And but if you listen and you like this show, please subscribe. Everything you can find at boyspodcast.com. We've got our Instagram. We've got our Facebook. We've got our Twitter.
We've got
Email.
We've got our, what's that thing? Episodes. We got all those.
We have artwork. Also, there's a beautiful golden donate button right at the top. We tried Patreon for a while, but I really feel that the old-fashioned PayPal.
Let's stay in front of the paywall.
Yeah. The old-fashioned PayPal is doing great. Speaking of, big thanks to our boss.
Yeah.
And dare I say our friend.
Sure.
Robert Keeley.
He's a boss and a friend.
He was very gracious and gave us a very nice donation.
Yes.
And man, that's just so cool. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. And I just want to take a moment and say, Robert, thanks if you're listening. Appreciate it.
Thanks a ton.
And thanks to the other people who have donated. I don't want to name a bunch of names because this list is so long.
It's crazy long.
But thank you for donating. It really means a lot to us. Even if it's just a few bucks, it helps keep the lights on here and buy mic cables that Josh breaks constantly.
I got to stop wrapping them around my arms.
We are on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud. Just look for Boys Podcast.
Anywhere you find podcasts, we're there.
Pretty much. And last but not least, thank you to the Paramount Building and Patrick at the Lost Ogle for giving us this wonderful space to broadcast out of and make noise out of and breathe heavily into the microphone out of. Are you sick?
No.
Okay. Thank you to the Paramount Building.
Sure.
Patrick at the Lost Ogle. Anthem Brewing. As usual, top-notch dudes coming through.
You shot a video there today. That place is so great.
Man, it was so fun. It was so incredible.
This is so great.
Ben, big shout out. Thank you so much for hooking that up. And thanks for everything you do for boys. And if you're in the mood to listen to classic rock and hear a soothing voice,
rock 100.5 The Katt.
Crack an anthem and enjoy this show with Cameron Buchholz. Hi, Cameron. How you doing, man?
What's going on, sirs?
Oh, just cutting intros, cutting episodes.
Absolutely.
Cutting up. Just cutting up.
Just cutting up on a Thursday evening.
I mean, what else is there to do?
Nothing.
Go to a cool show that's downstairs, apparently.
You know what I did before I got here tonight? I'm diving into the world of Warhammer 40,000.
Okay. So that's the tabletop RPG?
Yep. Tabletop miniature war game. And D&D, Shadowrun player for years, into that shit. Well, the next step is the painting miniatures and going down this crazy rabbit hole.
Do you paint them, or are you like a poser? If you buy the ones that are pre-painted, they're looked down upon, you have to get the ones that are raw or whatever?
It's a good question. In the world of Warhammer 40K, I'm so nervous. No, in the world of Warhammer, the miniatures come on these things called sprues. And you remember the Ninja Turtles from when we were kids? The weapons would come on those little plastic skeletons.
You would punch out, kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is the same thing. They're called sprues, and you literally cut them out, glue them together, and then you paint. And they're just gray when you get them. So it's this tedious yet very therapeutic process in the whole thing. My wife loves it.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like a couple's thing.
Oh, it really is. Yeah. I sit by myself and do that, and she sits by herself and watches La La Land.
And does anything else.
Yeah. Anything. And no sex. No.
Well, obviously, you're painting miniatures.
Yeah.
Right? It's amazing you're even married.
Well, that's why I paint miniatures.
I've never been into anything of that sort, but I do remember as a kid going to a place called Grey Knight Comics and Games. which is up on Expressway.
Yes.
That it was like 90% miniatures for like RPGs. And the other 10% was like, I went there to buy Pokemon cards.
Right. They had a little section for Pokemon and then rows and rows. Back then they were pewter miniatures. Yeah, they were these metal miniatures. Well, they don't make those anymore. But I was always allured to those as a kid. There was another shop by my grandma's house on 23rd Meridian. And I cannot remember exactly what it was called, but it was a little game shop tucked away by that Cece's Pizza back there.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I ever saw Shadowrun.
CC's.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic. It's the first time I ever saw Shadowrun, and I was just very drawn to these little figurines. I was like, what are these for? And 25 years later, I'm like doing this, and I'm really enjoying myself. But that's what I did before tonight. I went to the Games Workshop store. They have an actual retail location here in Oklahoma City. And I went in, and I bought some paint. And I spent $35 on 2 tiny vials of paint and 2 paintbrushes.
Now, did you have to go there? Could you not have just gone to like a hardware store and got some acrylic paint? It's
not the same.
Are you sure?
The pigment in the Citadel paints made by Games Workshop are far superior than any of that apple barrel bullshit you get at Hobby Lobby.
Is this a shout out then?
Yes, thank you. I'm actually
shop local.
Yes, exactly. The guy that runs the store, Chris, very, very friendly guy. Okay. I did this really nerdy thing today. I was in there talking to him, and he's
wait, that was the nerd. Like you're about to say the nerdy thing?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You think building miniatures and not having sex is nerdy? Wait till you get a load of this. I'm like talking to him, and I'm checking my watch, and I was like, "Ooh, hey man, I got to get out of here. I got to go do my podcast. I'll see you later." Hoping he'd be like, "Oh, podcast, cool," because I kind of want to ask him to come on because this dude's like uber smart and pretty funny. Mm-hmm. But he was just like, "Oh, see ya." It's like, you didn't ask for a card?
I mean, you're not one of the. What is it? Is it Nerds to Men? That's the nerd podcast from Oklahoma City. And I bet he maybe already knows those dudes. Like he's already got his allegiances to. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, he's already in. That could be.
That's true. What if he has an allegiance to Nerds to Men and he's selling me all this shitty stuff that he's like about to penny out?
He's like, hey, this guy is going to buy these paints that he can just get at Hobby Lobby for 1/10 of the price. Like
literally, these paints are like $7 for like a load's worth of these paints. And it's like, you can get the apple barrel for like 40 cents at Hobby Lobby. What am I doing?
What are you doing?
Collecting.
Are you going pro? Or you're going to collect?
I'm collecting.
Okay.
You have to have the right tool for the job. And that's all there is to
the
it.
RPG job.
So what have you been up to today, Cameron?
I've done almost. I was telling him I've done almost nothing. I didn't work today. I slept until like 3, and then the only thing I did was do my taxes, which takes about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
because I just go to hnrblog.com, copy what's on my W-2, and there's not even a lot of numbers for me to copy down, so it took all of 10 minutes.
It's like four sections. Like, okay, I'm done. Oh, yeah. I owe a lot of money. Cool.
I always like even last, like I don't even have insurance and I still like, oh, you don't make enough, you don't need insurance. So it's like,
I was about to ask, I've never owed to the government. Ooh. I've never really gotten a lot back either. I'm always kind of right in the middle. I'll get a few $100 back if I'm lucky, but I'm always dreading tax time and it is time. It is tax time.
It's there.
Well, you're a busy dude. Like, so tell me, when did you start your current job at the Katt?
About a year and a half ago, something like that.
And how's that treating you?
It's great. It's so much fun. Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, you are. I did a little research. You are an unapologetic rock fan.
Yeah,
right.
Again, unapologetic would be. I mean, I should apologize a lot for it, but
flag waving.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
I mean, it's a bit of a put on. It's a little bit of a persona or whatever that I've developed. But yeah, for sure.
Right. And how did you get that gig?
The Katt thing was, I was drunk at Powerhouse. And me and my friend were leaving, and something was on the Katt that was playing, and then I was real upset about. And I think I was just drunk and yelling at my friend about how shitty this was. And my friend was like, well, why don't you work there? So I drunkenly messaged the dude that I knew ran the Katt, and then he hired me.
That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah. It's kind of insane that that's how it worked out, but yeah.
And so explain to me and the listeners here, like, what exactly do you do? I know you host some shows or a show, or
I host.
What are you on?
I host the Pure Rock 20, which is the weekly countdown show.
And that's a classic. That's been around a while.
It is, yeah, but it hadn't been on for like 10 years, and I resurrected it.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so I do that, which is Sunday nights, and then I'm usually on like weekend mornings, and then just random fill in whatever. Is
this full time, part time, kind of in between?
Yeah, sort of in between. Just depends on the week, but yeah. And do a lot of weird production stuff behind the, not on air and social media and all that garbage.
I would love to peek behind the curtain because when I was a kid, and one of the reasons why I do this podcast now with my best friend here is one of my best friends, Matt Street. Chill out. One of the reasons that I do this podcast with one of my best friends is because I've always had the aspirations to be on the radio.
Sure.
I've always said I have a face for radio. I feel like that I have somewhat of a decent voice. I've been told that I can give a good interview if I don't, drink too many anthems.
Beer,
yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I'm really curious to know what do you like about this job? This isn't a Barbara Walters tell-all, but I am really curious as to what it's like to be behind the curtain of a station that I grew up listening to.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's definitely this is the 41st episode of your podcast, correct?
Yes.
Well, this is the Katt's 41st year.
So
it's a weird, yeah. But yeah, so I mean, it's been around forever, so it's cool to go to shows and just wear my dumb cat shirt and at the Diamond Ballroom, that means something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's so that's cool. And I definitely grew up, in 6th grade or whatever, I had the cat sticker on my notebook and all that shit.
I remember trying to find one of those as a kid, and I couldn't find one because I lived out in Choctaw where there was nothing.
Right. And even so, you'd have to get one at the head shop or whatever that you probably couldn't get into as a kid anyway.
Right.
Exactly.
But yeah, and I don't know. It's just, I mean, I, podcasted and stuff before the radio gig too. So, I mean, it all kind of led to, that, I guess.
Are you guys hiring?
Sure, apply. Yeah,
awesome,
I don't know.
great, cool.
I mean,
I'm gonna get real drunk and
yeah.
text you later.
Sure, yeah. Cumulus.com/jobs. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't sound good.
Because I technically work for there's 7 stations in our quote unquote cluster that I do shit for. So it's Sports Animal and Wild and Kiss and Fun.
So did you go to Rocklahoma?
I did go to Rocklahoma. Yeah.
Was it your first Rocklahoma?
It was my first Rocklahoma. Yeah.
I went to one a few years ago.
It's a blast.
Yeah, the people watching, the music, obviously. It's a good time. Beer's a little expensive.
But you can, because of the camping and stuff, you can just flask it and kind of get by without ever paying concession prices.
See, I was just a rube walking down the midway with the cotton candy in one hand and a balloon in the other. I was like, where's the beer?
But there's definitely a charm to doing it that way, I'm sure, as well.
Absolutely. I went in blind, and later I met Korn.
No pun intended.
Yeah, so it was wonderful. It was the year that Korn played, and
that's every
Cheap
year.
Trick.
But
is that every year
I don't
too?
know.
Okay. I did see Steel Panther, and I was kind of excited to see them because if you know one thing about me is I love comedy rock.
Okay, that's the pinnacle of that right now.
Yeah, I love rock with wit. And a little bit of masochism.
Wit
and
rock.
A little bit of, what's the other word I'm looking for? The opposite of feminism.
Masculinity?
Yeah.
No.
Cum.
Yes.
A lot of
cum. I think they're funny. Is what I'm trying to say.
They're funny.
It goes back to my youth and Adam Sandler and Tenacious D and all that shit.
Totally. I actually interviewed Steel Panther at Rocklahoma last year.
Really?
What's the singer? I don't know what the singer's name was. But
Satchel's the guitarist.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. It's right on the
Michael
Satchel.
something, I think. Michael
Starr?
Yes, that's right. Yes. Yeah. Talk to Michael Starr.
Yeah. Were they nice fellas?
He was very nice. Yeah, I didn't meet the other bands, but yeah. It was it's crazy because doing the radio thing, you have a booth. There's a weird, it almost is like a concession stand at Dolisi Park or whatever.
Right.
Just that wooden shed with an opening. That's what all the radio stations get. And there's just Radio Row. And just throughout the day, just the musicians just march and just do a 10-minute interview with each of the radio stations.
They just walk up and.
Yeah. Usually it's just, they literally,
they're ordering black cats at a fireworks stand.
Yes. Yeah. So they just walk up and just go to each radio station.
That's cool.
And yeah. It's sort of weird. So it's just a parade of almost rock stars all day, or sometimes full rock stars.
Yeah. Or former rock stars.
Or former rock stars, yeah.
So who were some cool people that you got to talk to?
Let's see. I talked to Sebastian Bach, which was super awesome.
Yeah. He seems a little high strung. Is he high strung in person?
Well, he was very drunk.
Really?
He was drinking red wine out of a styrofoam cup, but a big one. A 32 ounce or 44 ounce styrofoam cup.
So he was doing it right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so his teeth were all red. And you could see he drank most of it, but if you drink red wine out of styrofoam, it stains the amount that was in the cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you could just see the red on the inside of his cup.
Rings? Almost like a tree?
Exactly, yeah. So that was interesting. But he was very nice too. I don't know. It was actually, I was interviewing him as it was being evacuated because there was lightning in the areas and there's always storms.
Because the year before was tornadoes and didn't some people die or was that a few years ago?
No, it was 2 years ago. There was flooding and 2 dudes left and parked and then got swept up in the
What a way to go. Coming back from Rocklahoma.
but I think they canceled a day too 2 years ago. So like the dudes were probably disappointed that like Linkin Park canceled and then they died. So like just
again, what a way to go.
Yeah, it's a good Memorial Weekend.
Gosh, terrible.
But I think some of the craziness of Rocklahoma to me though was a little bit. It felt tame to me because I've been to the gathering of the Juggalos twice.
You have?
I have.
Did you perform at one of them?
Twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
In my research, I thought I read that too, but then I thought I was having some crazy, sexy dream.
Did you stand up?
I did stand up. Yeah, 2 years in a row.
How did that work out?
Yeah, could you walk us through either
sure.
or both of those?
Yeah, it's awesome. Like,
did they pay you in Fago?
No, they actually paid very well.
Oh, awesome.
Very well. I probably broke even driving out to Ohio and whatever.
They got a lot of merch.
They have so much. No one sells more merch than Insane Clown Posse. Like, I don't think anyone. But yeah, I mean, they have a comedy stage, and like, it was the first year I went on immediately after Insane Clown Posse. Like, it was because the comedy, well, it goes all night. Like, so the music on the main stage
24 hours
is like, you know, whatever, normal festival hours. The main stage stops at like 11:30 or something, and then all the side stages start then. So they're not running really concurrently. Just the side stages are until 7 in the morning.
Okay.
So the comedy was from like 12 to 2. So I went on at 12 immediately after ICP went on.
So
like,
at least you got to do your comedy in front of a nice sober audience.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it actually was kind of awesome because ICP had just gotten off. People aren't rushing over to the comedy tent unless you really wanted to see the comedy. So the people that were there actually were a good crowd and just wanted to see stand up, and it wasn't crazy. Like, I didn't have Fago thrown at me or anything, which is,
or shit,
or anything
rocks.
thrown at me. Frankly,
shit rocks.
I think both years I've done it, I've drank a liquor that I'd never heard of from a plastic handle on stage. So people like to share their shit.
Oh yeah, it's a family there.
Exactly. Yeah. Whoop whoop. But yeah, it's a lot of fun too. But I enjoy all of that kind of trash. I mean, obviously, it's, you know, Rocklahoma and the Katt, it's all sort of tied together a little bit.
Well, you put that on the handy dandy boys list here. You said hard rock dudes, and I was kind of curious about that.
You know, just I never took you for a hard rock guy, Cameron. But like in your act, you have when you came out playing Shine. I was like, oh, he's making fun of, you know, but then you list off these bands that you really you like. I'm not gonna say shitty hard rock bands.
I do. Yeah,
bands that are looked down upon. Which I guess at Rocklahoma and probably at ICP too. You see a lot of hard rock dudes. You know what I mean? Like the guys bedazzled pocket pants.
Well, yeah. I mean, I like a lot of gauntlets. Like what would be hair metal.
Yeah, but like now.
And then,
yeah, those dudes.
Right.
But you're not one of those. You are the dude, but not in dress. Like you like.
Yeah, and I don't think I am one of those dudes. Actually, I again.
No. I mean, like you like those. Like, okay, what's it like going to those kind of shows? And because I don't go to those, I don't know what it's like. I just go to punk rock shows because I'm 35 and think I'm 18. So what's it like going to those kind of shows?
Well, I don't think anyone that goes to those shows is those dudes in dress either, really.
Yeah.
Like, it's like kind of like you go see a movie or something. You're not dressed like, you know, or you go see a baseball game. You're not wearing a baseball uniform.
I mean like the like your typical like crossfade fan with like the tips, the bleached tips, and like the black, you know, tight black T-shirt and the bedazzled pants or the Affliction shirt. You know.
Oh, I get. Yeah, that's not really hard rock. I mean, I think maybe it was 10 years ago when
I'm out of the scene. Yeah. Crossfade's not a band anymore.
I don't think so. They had that one song.
Looking back at me, whatever. Yeah.
Cold, I believe is what it was called. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to maybe accurately judge because I'm so immersed in it.
Yeah. Right.
But I don't think like the crowd at, say, even like a Hinder show in 2016, that crowd probably isn't that different than who went to see Third Eye Blind at the Criterion or, which I don't know if you were one of those guys, but
no, I went to the Zoo Amphitheater one. Okay. I got in for free.
Sure.
Whoa. Hey.
Hey, Keeley. They're a band of Keeley.
Nice. It's interesting because you say I saw the hard rock dudes on the list, and I thought about like I'm picturing a hard rock dude, and I like some music that others could describe as shitty or not good.
Sure,
but I'm kind of a judgmental guy, but not in a mean way. Like I kind of feel like I might not like something that you like or you like, but to each their own. And I'm not going to shit on someone for liking something because I have a lot of stuff that I like that people are like, why?
Yeah, you painting Warhammer 4K or whatever things. Like,
I listen to 311. They're my favorite band of all time. I mean, are they the best band of all time? Of course not.
Of course they are.
But they do come original.
They do, and they've been coming original for a long time, damn it. And I recently, the other day, we caught a really nice day for the winter in Oklahoma. And I went to the car wash and I washed my car and I brought towels, which I never do. That's when you know you're getting old. I brought like 2
so it doesn't
towels. Drove out of the car wash, was drying it off. And boy, did I have that 311 decal in my pocket, because I bought it at the fair last year. And I was like, I'm putting this on my car as soon as I wash it. And it took me a year and 4 months to wash my car, but I did. And I have fixed the 311 decal on the back window perfectly. Got out the credit card to get all the air bubbles out. I have been reprimanded for my 311 decal by everyone who has seen it, including some people, Stuart Whitmarsh, at work.
He's a kid though.
He's a lovely boy, but he's like, Robbie, is that your car outside? That's my Stuart.
That's a perfect Stuart. Yeah. Put that in the repertoire.
Hey, Robbie, is that your car outside, dude? Yeah. What's with the 311 sticker on the back? Did you get pranked? I was like, no, I like 311. Do I look like I like 311? Maybe. But
I don't know, man.
Yeah, like the 311 crowd is probably exactly the same as, say, a Catfest crowd, or like.
That's the thing. I fucking love 311 now.
Yeah. But okay, so we have that. We have that little sect here. But when you go to a Rocklahoma or a gathering of the Juggalos,
Rocklahoma is a whole different thing,
dude. It's like rebel flags and like like sunburns and a lot of black T-shirts and like.
They come out of the woodwork for those festivals for some reason.
You know, they save up all year, man, and they go hard.
They go real hard. Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. I can't explain what happens at those festivals. Well, like that's a different thing.
This year's lineup was, every other year you see a lineup, it's like, you know, Rat and all these like, you know, old school metal bands mixed in with some new guys. But this year's lineup was like Soundgarden, Taking Back Sunday, Norma Jean, like it's all over the place. So it's
they got to appeal to, they have to cast the widest net possible. And I think that they're doing a good job.
Yeah, I mean, it started as just a hair metal festival.
Right.
And then they realized that if you book 100 hair metal fans, they all have the same crowd. Like it's like the same 300 people that would show up.
Right.
So then they started mixing in the new rock. And then, yeah, you're right. I think this year it is even more like expanded out.
But I like it. It was the first time I looked at one of those and go, oh, fuck, I kind of want to go to that.
You should go for the people watching alone, man. Yeah. Like, it's not that far of a drive. And
but I want to be like the 3-day experience. I want to like bring a tent. See, I want to do the whole fucking thing.
Did you camp?
We had an RV. We had like a cat
RV.
Oh yeah. But it still wasn't like it was nice. Like it was still, you know what I mean? Like it was. I mean, it wasn't bad.
It was an 87 Winnebago.
But it was pretty sweet. You know, better than sleeping in a tent.
Absolutely better than a tent. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
So I don't know what I'm going to do this year. I haven't heard the plan, but I might be sleeping in a tent. Who knows? Because the hotels in Pryor are now like $800.
Really?
Because there's only like 3, and then you just get booked
Pryor?
out.
I'm not even certain where that is.
Like half an hour past Tulsa.
Okay.
It's like almost like going to Claremore.
All right. Okay.
And it's funny because you're driving out that way, and you just like show up to like this sign. Like the year I went, it was just like a hand painted sign, like turn right for Rocklahoma, and it's like, whoa, we're here! Holy shit! It was pretty cool.
Well, it's weird because that main stage is like a big giant permanent thing.
Yeah, like a big metal structure with like an awning, and it's very big.
And like it's only used for Rocklahoma. It's not like...
Is it really?
Yeah, it's not like they have other shit there.
They just tear it down and go.
No, it's just there all year.
It's a permanent structure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main stage is like a big metal building that like has giant doors that lift up.
Okay, see, I was thinking like one of those like Warped Tour or whatever, like those traveling...
Like where they're all playing on the back of a flatbed trailer, basically?
Well yeah, but it's giant, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's like a permanent structure.
The main stage is a permanent structure. It's more like kind of what the Zoo Amp has, where it's a big, but it's bigger than that and only used for one thing.
They must make a shit ton of money for that.
Yeah, or just the rest of the year, it's just like a pasture or whatever, and it's not a big deal to just have a metal shed there all the time.
All right,
but it is weird that it's not like a normal, that like Willie Nelson's family picnic or whatever isn't also there sometimes, or
right, or something else to supplement
or another
the income.
Festival or something. Yeah,
I don't know. So have you? So you say you're kind of a hair metal fan.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been that way your whole life, or like let's take it back to when you were a kid? Like
for sure. Like when I was like I grew up. My first concert ever was REO Speedwagon and Foreigner when I was like 7.
And now you can see them every year.
all the time. Yeah, they play like biannually at Riverwind Casino. But and then I was super into like Kiss and stuff like that. Like my dad raised me on that sort of like 70s, 80s.
We had a good conversation with Brad Chad last week about Kiss.
Yeah,
he actually converted me and enlisted me into the Kiss Army.
Okay, awesome.
Because he came on my old podcast 2AD, and I shit on Kiss. I used to make fun of them. I thought they were the lamest thing in the world. After he came on the show, just a quick recap, synopsis here. Sorry, hitting the mic. I gave him a listen.
Yeah.
And I was quickly converted.
First 5 albums are almost unimpeachable. Like they're goddamn. If they had stopped in 1978, they would be like just the way more like just a bigger version of like the New York Dolls or something like super respected. Just the problem is they kept going and got
and still going. Wait a minute. Earlier we said no one sells more merch than ICP.
Oh, I think ICP still sells way more merch. Yeah.
Okay. They might sell more, but do they offer more?
Oh, no. Kiss definitely offers
but ICP sells more.
Yeah.
Dang. They got Gene beat.
Although, I mean, ICP probably does come close in terms of weird shit, too. Like, I don't know if there's an ICP coffin the way that there's a Kiss coffin.
Right.
But you can get a lot of weird.
Oh, I'm sure there's a juggalo that runs a funeral service that made his own, just puts a bunch of decals on it.
Right, yeah. You just use the Juggalo stickers.
Just
and
like
the lining is all ICP t-shirts.
Yeah, they're just like shittily affixed to a black
like it's
box.
the back of an 86 Cutlass. It's like thumbtacked up.
Oh, like the
headliner.
Speaking of Kiss, a friend of mine posted on Facebook the other day, the Gene Simmons Firestarter video.
Sorry?
Have you seen this?
Is it a cover of Prodigy?
It is.
Okay.
Is it actually Gene Simmons?
It is actually Gene Simmons, and it's him singing Firestarter in this, what could best be described as like a terrible rap video scenario. Like fake titty girls by a pool and him in like a fedora.
Well, I know which record this is off of. It's from like 1999. So it's very much maybe in the vein of like, it's like the era of like Thong Song or like that era of like hip hop.
Like No Limit kind of.
Like when hip hop needed a shtick. Like you really needed a thong. You really needed a tank. You really needed something. A wish. You needed, though that's from like the 80s maybe, but you needed something to sing about.
20-inch blades. You needed 20-inch blades on your Impala.
You had to have something to sing about.
Right. And Gene Simmons has no shame, so he just saw that hip hop was selling well and was like, I'll just do that. Well, and I won't bore you with it now.
But when we take a break, I'm going to pull it up and show you. So I dare implore any listeners that aren't friends with, I believe it was Lucas Dunn or maybe it was Randy, posted this on their Facebook, and I hadn't seen it in years because I remember seeing it on the Box. Do you remember the Box? It was a TV station based out of Tulsa that played music videos. So you would call this number, and I think it cost like
Channel 19,
$2.99,
$1.99, $2.99,
and you could request videos.
So they charged you for your request?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is a pretty genius model.
Absolutely, yeah.
And as a kid, it was cool because you'd get to watch it for free. I remember it was the first time I ever saw Limp Bizkit's Sour video was on there, which was like, to me, everything at the time. And Blink 182, What's My Age Again was the first time I saw that was on the Box.
Oh, really? That's later than my first Box experience was Strokin' by
Clarence Carter? No way.
And then right after that was Gangsta Lean, and then right after that was Crossroads. The first time I ever saw those videos was on the Box. I was like 12 or 10.
But isn't Strokin' from like the 60s? Or is that?
But somebody paid $3 for the request.
Somebody didn't. I think he did it may have been like he redid it. There's a music video with like a puppet.
Okay. So this is like some sort of weird rehash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And Redneck Scott. There's so many videos from that. Just talking about the Box.
Oh, I was like, Clarence Carter?
I totally forgot about the paying for it thing because I never did. I would just watch and hope that, because it'd always have that scrolling thing on the bottom and say, up next, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I never paid for the video, but definitely got lucky a few times. And we would, it was the fucking early 90s. Like we'd get the VCR tape in there, hit record as soon as like the first chords of a Limp Bizkit song came on. And
now you got
then we had a mega mix of all these wonderful Korn videos, and it was great.
Nice.
So let me ask you something, Cameron. Like what, going back to the Katt thing, like what's it like a memorable moment or like a cool, like what's a highlight that you have from working there for the last year and a half? Like,
I mean,
what's something you'd put in your audiobook one of these days?
In my audiobook, I don't know. It's remarkably boring most of the time. Because, I mean, it's, we work in an office and it's just, there's a computer screen that the songs scroll and that's mostly it. So the things that are crazy are like the Rocklahoma and the Cat Fest.
Events.
And but the day-to-day is you're just in an office.
It's a job.
And yeah, for sure. So I'm trying to think of, there's not that much. No one listens to radio, right? Like it's not, I didn't just say that, but it's not like I'm Greg Zubek in 1982.
True.
With, strippers and blow.
Greg
and,
Zubek.
Those days are far gone.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with being a realist about that.
Yeah, for sure. Like I have crazier times at the high-low than I have any time, if anything, cat related, probably.
Are there still butt mugs?
I don't even know what that is, so I'm going to say no.
I've never seen one, but do you remember that?
No.
It's Greg Zubek's like, Greg Zubek, Rock 100.5 The Katt. We're down here at 7-Eleven on 23rd and Pennsylvania Avenue. We got butt mugs. You don't remember that?
Butt mugs.
Butt mugs.
No.
Google it. It was a thing. I've never seen one. I just remember hearing it.
Are they just coffee mugs that look like butts?
I'm assuming, and since I was a kid, every time I hear it, I would have different things that I would envision it being like. Okay, is the actual mug a butt, which I could see that, or is the mug just a black mug that says the cat on it, and the handle is a butt?
So you're like holding on to a butt to drink your coffee?
Which is it? Or was it just a mug that said butt on it? I don't know.
If I could envision the butt mug, it would be, there would be a regular handle and it would be like kind of a poorly made ceramic.
Like pseudo 3D kind of bulgy.
There would be a
butt.
There would be cheeks, and it would be.
That's weird. That was probably just in the early 90s. That was probably just a thing that, like, those promo companies, now you can go buy pens and mouse pads and all that shit with your logo on it.
USB drives.
Yeah, exactly. Just in 1992, there was probably just, you could have your logo on a butt mug. And at some point, the cat was like, well, that works.
I'm imagining Greg Zubek at the proctologist. And there's like mail on the counter. And he's like, oh. And he's like, he opens his catalog and it's promotional items for proctologists.
Yeah.
And right on the cover, it's like brand new for 1993.
Great idea.
The butt mug. And it's like, it turns rosy red when you put hot coffee in it or something.
That's genius.
Yeah, man.
Boys' butt mugs.
Boys' butt mug. Was butt mug the predecessor of butt chug? Like, do you butt chug from your butt mug?
Probably. Kids butt chugging. That's so weird.
Is that really a thing?
I don't know.
That seems like that's just a weird Dateline story that was like meant to scare parents, right?
Okay.
Like that was one kid did that and then...
Well, like the soaking tampon in vodka and shoving that up your ass. Are they really doing that?
I don't think so. Again, I think it's the same thing. It's like one kid did that, went to the hospital, and then maybe there have been copycats, but it's not like it's a...
What I imagine is two...
butt chugging.
Like, I imagine like two Yale varsity starters from the football team, and they're just gay as fuck. And they just love sucking each other's dicks. They love eating each other's asses.
Sure.
And they're just in, like they just can't get enough of that. And like, they both
and
have
that's
that's all I imagine all the time. No, they have their beard girlfriends, because they're not gay, and like they're having a party one night and like they kind of get tipsy and they go in the bedroom and they just start fucking blowing each other. Just needing it.
I get it.
And hot, right? And then the girlfriend walks in. They're like, "No, I was just butt chugging. No, I was just pouring liquid in this guy's ass and drinking out of it or whatever. I don't even know what it is."
So where that came from was someone getting.
Well, it's just a dream I had.
Yeah.
But what have you butt chugged?
No, I've never butt chugged.
Will you ever?
Why? You guys have these Anthem beers. We can make this happen.
Anthem.
Yeah.
Perfect for butt chugging.
I'm a big fan of the golden one, so I feel like that's
a good beer.
Wait, is that a euphemism?
I think that's what I'm saying. It could be. I don't know.
Anthem butt mugs. We're trying to work this angle to get like this cross sponsorship going.
Anthem butt
Boys
mugs.
Butt mugs.
First, we have to find out what the fuck a butt mug is.
Did you try to Google?
There's things that come up with butt mugs, and it's like a mug, and it's got like a cartoon, like a Far Side type picture of a butt, and it says, "Guess what?
Butt."
That's
so stupid,
right? Hopefully that wasn't the cat butt mug. I can't believe, as an employee of the cat, I'm surprised.
Let me text my boss and let me see if he remembers.
All right, this is perfect. Yeah, this is perfect. So while
I want
you're
to make sure
doing
I didn't this isn't like some weird Mandela effect thing.
This is some dream you had. So while Cameron's looking that up, I have to tell you a story, Josh. So,
okay, tell me a story.
We're always talking about like embarrassing stuff we did when we were a kid.
Sure, I'm embarrassed all the time.
And I heard a term the other day, and it threw me back into being a young, embarrassed, awkward boy.
Okay.
I heard the term. Eric and I were watching TV the other night, and somebody said the term. Oh, we were watching Friends. We've been getting into watching Friends lately.
Uh-huh.
I've never seen Friends before in my life.
Are you serious?
I've seen like 10 seconds
But
of it.
you don't know like storyline. Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
Didn't know about the monkey, Marcel.
Didn't know about Ross and Rachel, will they, won't they?
No, I didn't. I didn't. What's the girl with the annoying voice that's, is it Chandler's girlfriend? Or
Oh, no, she's not a girlfriend of anybody.
No, yeah,
Rachel.
I know what you're talking about.
she's really annoying.
forgot.
She's like a Fran Drescher type.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know about her.
Sure.
Still
Okay.
don't, apparently.
Anyways, you're watching it and a word comes up.
Well, a term comes up. Monica says, I don't want to be a notch on his bedpost.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about that term.
Yeah.
And I thought about the connotations of that term and the meaning of that term. And then deep in the vaults of my mind, I remember when I was a kid, I was probably 8 or 9 years old. And I had this beautiful bunk bed set that was passed down in my family.
Right.
I mean, this was like hardcore, like beautiful
Oak,
Amish quality
like, yeah.
furniture, you know.
Amish quality.
Beautiful
Okay.
bunk bed. And I remember hearing that term when I was a kid
Mm-hmm.
and getting my pocket knife and like putting notches in my headboard so I could tell my friends that I had notches in my bedpost. Which is obviously a way to count the girls that you fucked.
Yeah. Well,
or guys.
here's the thing with that term. It's who the fuck would do that?
Cavemen?
Like who like it's like I'm imagining this is like brutish hard rock dude. He gets on, crawls off of the girls, yeah, and then just another one. Why would you keep count?
It's interesting. Have you ever put a notch in your bedpost?
I never have. No,
I
but
have
you've heard
notches
the
on my
term,
bedpost.
though,
no,
right?
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just imagining like that's one thing when there's like 30 notches,
Mhm.
but like notches 2 through 9 were real awkward. Like,
Yeah.
Right?
Very.
Like you might just want to like X those out. Like let's do this again. Those don't matter.
Are you getting laid or do you have rats?
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot going on
Do
here.
blowjobs count?
No.
Okay.
I think a notch on the bedpost is a conquest. It's a woman that you have bedded.
or man.
Or man,
Whatever your preference.
That high school or college varsity quarterback that you just can't get enough of.
You have the more, we've been friends for what, 20 something years
Yeah,
now?
a long time.
I'm never not, what's the word I'm looking for?
Horny?
I'm always surprised at how many childhood stories you have that are just mwah, they're fucking perfect.
So I did this. So
Yeah.
I remember getting my little the cheap Chinese made pocket knife that I got at the
That
fair.
doesn't do shit, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm notching. Oh, am I just notching away? And I'm thinking, how many should I put? As an 8-year-old boy, how many is believable here? I don't want to.
Okay, did you know what the term meant?
I had an idea.
Okay, so you want at an 8-year-old, you're wanting to tell your friends, I've had 6.
The funny thing is I had an idea what it meant, but I didn't understand the connotation.
Mm-hmm.
Like a notch in the bedpost meant a woman in your bed.
Mm-hmm.
Did I know what you were doing in bed? Kissing, touching boobs? I don't know, but I wanted those notches, and boy, did I make them.
Reading Mad Men.
So how many? What number did you land on that was acceptable?
I want to say around 12 to 14.
That's fair.
So you ruined this Amish quality.
I did.
Did you get in trouble? Did you busted?
Oh, boy, did my dad put a notch in my bedpost. He beat the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Not literally in like the take him away to jail way, but I mean, whipped
Did he
my
know what
ass.
they were, or was he just like, "What are you screwing up the bed?" Like,
He thought I was just
yeah,
doing an art installation
Vandalizing.
in the bedroom.
Vandalizing.
It's funny though. I remember being a kid, and there's a lot of things like that I did that were very parallel to like being in prison. Like I would draw on my walls a lot as a kid. Not just to like, oh, a kid with a crayon, that's so cute. But like I would
count down the
draw
days.
like huge panoramic drawings on my walls. And that's what you would do if you were in jail
Would you
or taking a long shit.
Would you stack books up and then do push-ups on them?
Yes.
Do that?
I would whittle things out of soap. No, I would
Make shivs?
to me, it's a weird parallel of those things that I did when I was a kid and the things I would do if I were in jail nowadays.
This is a little different, but it just struck me the kind of weird parallel between notches on a bedpost and the markings of like a little kid as he grows up on like a door. Like, you see, which I've never seen anyone actually do. I only see it in movies.
Yes.
But the height markings on a door frame or whatever.
Yeah.
It's almost the same as notches on a
I'm glad you
bedpost.
mentioned that. I've only seen that in movies too. I recently moved, like a few months ago, moved into a house. It was my friend's house. He moved out with his family, bought a new house. So I moved into the house. And wouldn't you know it, in the door frame of one of the bedrooms, notches. And I look at my wife and we're looking at it together. That's just adorable. I didn't know that was a real thing.
Did you paint over it?
No, I'm saying if we paint this, that stays.
Really?
That's just sweet. I can't paint over someone's memory like that.
But it's not yours.
It ain't my memory, but it is sweet.
Let me come over. I'll put a few notches in your bedpost.
What are they? Like, what are they? Are they just lines with like a number?
They're lines with the name and the age. So like, and then
No
your
date?
height. Like so. Let's say his name is
Wait, it says the height-
Beelzebub.
It says the height too?
Yeah, just the way
That seems weird because wouldn't the line indicate the height already?
Well, no, you would know like how tall that is. Like
Because there's no ruler.
Right.
Like in the door of a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I never did that when I was a kid. I didn't do a lot of shit when I was a kid.
I never had that because my parents just didn't love me. That's
Same.
how I felt though.
Same.
I always felt that. Like I had friends that had like the cool house, like the house that you always wanted to go to.
But you had like an Amish bunk bed.
I did. It was a nice bed before I defaced
But as
it.
I said, it was a hand-me-down.
It was a hand-me-down.
Well, you're not throwing away your Amish furniture. Like that's a thing that it almost gets better as it gets
That's
passed
true.
down, right?
It's like
So
it's like a
heavy.
whiskey. It's a nice whiskey. It just gets better with age.
And the more notches, the better.
Yeah, exactly.
So embarrassing. I remember notching that bed. Not to hang on to this memory, but I remember carving like with my tongue in my cheek, like this is gonna be good. Like this is cool. Perfectly spaced. As you
Right.
know me, I'm a very organized fella. Perfectly spaced, perfecly notched.
See now,
Never
so
even saw a boob.
You did
back
it in the
then.
headboard, not on the actual post.
See, that's where I fucked up. I didn't. No one says notch in my headboard. Like it's
No.
not. But why would you reach down and do it on the leg of the
No,
bed?
I think it's like
No,
it's like
it's
a 4-post bed. Like
yeah,
it's like
like
goes
right
up,
next to
like,
you, so you
yeah.
like a bed knobs and broomsticks bed, like with
Sure.
the
Yeah,
tall.
yeah.
Yeah,
Perhaps a canopy.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you fucked up.
yeah, I did.
So like
I
if
did.
you had a bunk bed, you would have done it, or you should have done it on like the supports in the
Exactly,
corner
the
for the
support
top
beam.
bed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I would have done it.
You know
I
what?
wouldn't have done it, but
The
Right.
more I think about it, the more I just realize that I actually did them in the footboard of the lower bed.
Well,
Okay.
that's not isn't that's butt stuff, right? Like that's
Yes,
that's what you're
yeah.
counting with the.
That was all the college varsity football players that came and
There you go.
tutored me
toot.
night after
Mhm.
night. All right, so speaking of kid stories, man, I would be doing myself in the
Oh
show
yeah,
a
you guys
disservice.
told me to prepare.
Be
some
remiss.
sorta, the thing that I thought of was the time that I stole a bunch of quarters from all my neighbors.
How does that happen?
So me and a friend, we got real obsessed. I don't know what age this would have been, maybe 5th grade, something like that.
Okay.
Got real obsessed with those stickers that are like you'd get from the front of a grocery store where you put the 2 quarters in the little like tray almost that you
Mhm.
push in, and then when you pull back out, the sticker comes out
in a
between
cardboard.
2 pieces of white cardboard.
Yeah.
So we got real obsessed with those. Mostly, I think they were WWF ones,
Oh yeah.
but I think there might have been some weird music ones too. That was like you'd act like you wanted the like wallflower sticker, but you
Mhm.
weren't really that upset when the Britney Spears one came out.
Sure.
So we got real obsessed with those, and we like raided all our parents' like coin jars and shit of all the quarters. And at some point, we just were out, couldn't find any more
Mhm.
quarters in the house. So we came up with a plan to go around his neighborhood, ringing doorbells, telling the people that answered the door that we were the Boy Scouts and we're on a scavenger hunt, and we needed a quarter,
1 quarter.
1 quarter.
Okay.
But then you do that times
Multiple.
12 houses or
Yeah.
whatever.
You're getting some sticks, baby.
And everyone gave us quarters. Like no, like I feel like there had to have been a few times where someone was like, "What's like
but you did it smart. You asked for a small increment, like a quarter.
Right.
right?" But But even if it's a scavenger hunt, wouldn't it probably be a penny?
No, I mean that's the thing with scavenger.
But
hunts,
also,
man.
I said we weren't wearing uniforms. We weren't even
You're
really
off,
in the Boy
you're
Scouts.
off duty.
Yeah, no, I mean,
You're just wearing your Foreigner t-shirt.
Right, yeah. I'm just, I mean, this time it was probably like an Abercrombie and Fitch, fake mini golf place or something that I was,
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, and I think we got enough money to go buy more stickers. And just in my head, that's crazy. Because if some little kid came to my door and asked for a quarter, maybe you do just am like, it's not worth saying no. Just give him a quarter. Yeah.
If that happened to me, I would just be like, I'm high. Here's 2. Yeah. Don't come back. Like, I'm painting my figurines in here. Leave me the fuck alone.
Crazy kid.
I'm jamming 311. So painting my figurines.
So, those people who are bumming for change off the highway, they're doing it all wrong. Go door to door, tell them you're in the Boy Scouts, ask for a quarter. Eventually, man, you're going to get like $5.
Yeah.
Did these let's go back to the stickers.
Yeah, sure.
Did they have a element of like holograph?
I think a lot of them did. Yeah.
Those are good.
And what's weird is that we didn't stick them on stuff. We put them on the white cardboard that they came in, so they became like cards almost.
Oh, okay.
Which seems like sort of like a waste because you're just.
And also kind of prison-y. It's kind of prison-y. Like, did you trade them for goods and services?
Yeah, like they were sardine cans or whatever. Is the
like pop lids or something. Like,
did you ever attempt to remove that sticker to put it on something else?
I don't think so.
Have you ever reused a sticker?
I'm surely I've tried.
I've recycled stickers for sure. It never works.
It works for a very short amount of time, and then it just doesn't happen. That's happened when you're cheap ass. I do that too.
What is that though with kids and the weird shit that we did back then? Like, do you remember how old are you, Cameron?
I'm 29.
Okay, so. Wow, God, I'm like fucking 7 years older than you. Oh, but yeah, I'm sure you remember that because I feel like this was kind of like a rite of passage. But there was a moment in time, I would say around junior high, when the top of a can.
Keeping tops of cans?
Really?
Like people would wear them on necklaces, like some weird Lord of the Flies, Mad Max shit. And there was a secret. If you could pop one off and keep the ring on it, like I just did, and you give that to a girl, she has to have sex with you.
Oh, so that's how you get Dodges.
I remember that. And if it's broken, she has to blow you. So either way, you're getting keyword has to. What the fuck?
So wait, so you give a girl a top of a can, probably from a Mr. Pibb or something.
Try it and pop it off that Anthem. Can you do it? I had it down.
See mine, and if you break it yourself, you have to blow yourself.
Yeah.
See, like I just had broke mine. I remember that though.
Dude, I'm gonna see because
you still have the technique down to get it off clean.
So look
at that. 2 for 2.
How many blowies did you get from that?
Zero.
None. Zero. But that's something dudes told. You never told a girl that. Like, hey, you gotta blow me now.
No, but it was this weird urban myth with the boys, and it was like, hey man, look, I've got, and I'd be like, look, I've got like 10 of these. Did it ever?
I love the idea that like if you wanted to get laid or get blown, you just needed 35 cents and access to a vending machine.
Exactly.
Like that's all it would take.
And a proper technique. Yeah.
Well, no, you don't even need a proper technique because
that ain't happening.
If you want to get laid, you do. But it seems like it's a win no matter what.
Either way, yeah. Nothing unless you do what I did, and then that's.
Well, and it's so funny to think, like, what is that worth? Like, less than a penny?
Get a kiss. It's worth nothing.
It's so embarrassing. Like, I'm cringing myself out thinking about that. And then I remember, like, some of the, like, cool kids, they'd have those, like, they'd wear them on a necklace, like a ball chain necklace or on a bracelet or on a keychain. And then sprinkled throughout the aluminum, shades of aluminum, there might be that little green number in there. From a Monster Energy drink.
Oh, yeah.
Or a blue one from a Red Bull. Or, a red one from like a Mountain Dew.
Or a Hawaiian Punch.
Yeah.
So exactly. That's got to be, the colored ones have to have a different value.
Those give you AIDS. It's good to keep a couple of those on hand.
Yeah, you never know. It's like war. It's like playing the card game War.
But it just seems sort of unhygienic, first off.
Right.
Because you're literally wearing trash around your neck. Like, that's like...
Exactly. But that's kind of goes back to wearing like the folded up newspaper on your head like a colonial person.
I never did that, but I saw it in a lot of comic books.
But that was the thing where like you would put that on. No one kept those hats. Like you folded it up, you wore it for 10 minutes, and then it went back in the trash. Yeah.
Or perhaps made a sailboat out of it when you were
done. You didn't keep it on your person for an extended period of time.
Yeah, like if you have a necklace that's full of the caps, like that's a 6-month project.
I'm imagining just how much like over time, just like your skin would discolor. And...
You'd start smelling like Red Bull and like blood.
Just ants just accumulating on you.
Or you just like had to start wearing turtlenecks all the time to just
Yeah.
Or imagine like in today's time, like trying to get through the TSA with basically like a weapon on your neck. Yeah. But excuse me, officer, I'm fucking and getting blown a lot. Like step aside, let me on the plane.
Wait. So if you're wearing the necklace, that would mean you're not getting laid because you're not trading them in. Like you're saving up for like a crazy night.
See, we went to the same school, but from my group of boys, it was the tab for that. And if a girl had it on her necklace, that means she did favors for it.
Like that is so incredibly terrible.
I lost my virginity when I was 18. So all of this happens as prepubescent young boys, just like not even knowing where a vagina is on the body.
Right.
Talking about sex. Like,
right.
No, it's not. I mean, it's just, in retrospect, yeah, it's child's play. It's child's play.
Yeah.
It's just locker room talk. It's child's play.
I love the idea of wearing trash though, because going back to that, I remember, there was a moment where I was like, I really want a chain wallet. Like,
I had a chain wallet, yeah.
I'm getting to that age where I really want a chain wallet.
Had one.
Two funny things. Number one, I didn't have a chain wallet, but my dog had a choke chain. Mm-hmm. I was raised in the country. We had big dogs. We had Rottweilers, German Shepherds.
Wait, choke chains are the ones with the weird metal prongs that stick out?
Okay, there's two different kinds. Those are the inhumane, terrible ones.
Right.
That if you even mention them, you're a terrible human being.
Right.
Then there's the more friendly that you just kind of slip it through the ring and it just tightens.
So as they pull it tight, okay.
Which does look exactly like a chain wallet. Mm-hmm. So I remember like going to the fucking hardware store and finding a choke chain, the non-cruel variety, and like getting out my dad's pliers, which I lost and then he got mad about, and like fashioning a chain wallet, like poking a hole in my shitty brown leather wallet, getting some key rings and making a chain wallet.
That was my first chain wallet as well. Build your own.
Second thing, a friend of ours, we'll call him Trussell. Mm-hmm. He took it a step further and he was like, man, fuck all this pussy shit. I'm making one out of barbed wire. And he wore barbed wire, like a piece of bent barbed wire
now, that's
for
a
his
weapon.
Chain wallet.
Well, but also that how did you even sit down with that? Because it's not like a chain that
it doesn't move.
Yeah, it's just a weird.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously this is pre-Columbine.
Right. Yes. He actually went on to star in that. So.
Oh boy.
Not really. Is that bad? Whatever.
It's been like 20 years.
They're whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. But I like but sort of like. How long did he wear the bar? Like, was it one day?
Was it like the tab necklaces?
One day.
One day.
Yeah.
One day.
Like he snuck it on his person that morning.
Like the bus driver didn't notice it.
Yeah.
He got to like halfway into first hour and then was promptly carted off.
That's a very intense chain wallet. We had a swing set in our backyard. It had the big yellow plastic chains. So I took it upon myself to take that off. And I made that my chain wallet.
Like the Raver chain wallet?
Yeah. I wore that for like 2 days. And it was just too bulky. And then I remember I used a bicycle chain for one once.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it all greasy and oily?
It was. I didn't clean it. And my Drinkos were fucked.
Yeah, I'm sure you just had like a grease.
Drinkos, by the way. Drinkos.
Yeah.
It's Drinkos that had a Capri Sun pouch on the side.
Just a fucking oily wallet
exactly.
or chain-shaped stain on your right leg.
I didn't wear a chain wallet for a long time. Then about like 3 or 4 years ago, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm getting one again. I'm a grown up.
Are you chaining right now?
I'm not. I had one and I wore it proudly. I got made fun of all the time. Like, fuck you. I can wear it if I want to.
I think it's... I'm
Well,
sorry, go ahead.
I went to the Summer Nationals tour, the Bad Religion, Offspring, Pennywise thing. And at the door, it's an outside festival.
They don't let you in with those.
No, she goes, you have to take that off, take it back to your car. I'm like, I parked 3 fucking miles away in a field of mud. I'm not taking it back. She's like, then you have to throw it in the trash. I'm like, you know what?
It was $8, whatever.
Threw it in the trash. I go inside and I see so many fucking hard rock dudes with their chain wallets.
Because they had the foresight to tuck it in.
Not wallets.
Yeah.
It's a thing that it's just a chain that goes from like just belt loops. Like
belt
it's
loop
not
to belt
attached.
loop.
Yeah, belt loop to belt loop.
Just an adornment.
Exactly.
Just a belt loop adornment.
Mm-hmm.
That's so ridiculous. Mine had a function to get my wallet from falling out of my skinny jeans.
The same thing happened to me. I mean, this was several years ago, but I thought about bringing the chain wallet back. And not the big, scary job, but just like a small one.
Maybe closer to like a pocket watch chain.
Yes.
Exactly.
The social distortion, if you will.
But instead of going back to front, I did back to back.
Yep.
With just the hang in the back, you know, and I thought that was pretty cool. It was very small, kind of, I wouldn't say dainty, but it definitely wasn't aggressive in any way, shape, or form. But
it wasn't barbed wire.
no, it wasn't barbed wire or fuck tabs. But so I went to go see All American Rejects. Our good friend Mike Kennedy, like, you know, he's like, come see us. I was like, cool. And I did the same thing. We parked way far away, walked, you know, to the Chesapeake Arena, and they were like, hey, buddy, you can't bring that in. And I was like, I'm fucking 30. Like, I'm not, this is not to fight. This is for me.
Greg Barron's the comedian. He has a great joke about his chain wallet that he didn't get let into a concert, and he was like, "Oh, I can't because of like violence or it's a weapon or whatever." And the bouncer was like, "No, it's because you're 40." So I mean, that's, you know, your argument that you're 30 maybe isn't the best.
I've been thinking of bringing it back, but I think maybe I shouldn't. Perhaps I shouldn't. Maybe.
Just do it. Do whatever you want. Bring back the fuck token.
You know, okay, you say that, so
you thinking about it?
I might bring that back. I bet you there's a fucking Etsy page where some dame is selling those like crazy.
Fuck tokens?
Yeah, but
I don't know.
There's like cards that are like sex IOUs and shit like that. They probably
sure, there's something. There's something like that for sure.
I'll tell you, this is a pro tip from boys. Next time you see a lady, pop the top off your Anthem beer, flick it at her, and then point to your dick.
Jesus.
It's what?
Right.
I thought we were cutting a commercial. I don't know. Speaking of, we should probably take a quick break.
Yeah.
And we'll be back. Welcome back.
Welcome. I'm gonna do the welcome back Carter thing every fucking time. I don't know why.
See, I always think of that weird thunder bumper they always play during the games, like the welcome back. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Man, I think I've said that like every
Are
time.
they just playing the welcome back Cotter thing?
It's like, it goes, welcome back. But the Cotter is
It's
like,
not welcome back.
yeah, it's like, welcome back. Something like that.
They play that at the game.
No, they play it on the, it's like bumper music coming back to the game after a commercial.
See, I don't really watch a lot of Thunder anymore.
I don't as much as I used to.
Jumped off the old bandwagon.
Yeah, that's okay.
See, I only listen to them on the Sports Animal. I couldn't even pull the number of the FM dial. The Sports Animal.
Everyone knows it
with Matt Pinto.
Pinto.
Is he still rocking the Thunder?
Yeah, he's the play-by-play.
That's right. That's right.
For the Sports Animal. Yeah.
Are you guys in cahoots? Like, have you met the guy?
I've never officially met him. I've seen him around the office. Like all the Sports Animal, like Traber and Alishbach and stuff, I've never actually met. They're just sometimes around.
Just kind of like nod in the hallway.
Yeah.
In passing.
I think there's a cutout of him in here somewhere.
Oh, sure.
There is. In the bathroom closet, there's a huge Jim Traber. I think it's a Lost Ogle thing. Like
Yeah.
Huge Jim Traber cutout. It's funny.
It's pretty funny.
It's funny. I want to take it home and do like the Home Alone thing and dance with it in front of the
Sure.
window. Keep
Oh,
away people.
God.
What?
Well, okay. The holidays passed. I watched Home Alone over the holidays for the first time in a very long time. And that scene came up where they come up to the house, the lights are on, and these cardboard cutouts dancing around. And I'm watching it and I'm like, are they fucking stupid? It's obviously cutouts.
It's
Like,
Michael Jordan taped to a train.
they're having a party. No, they're not having a fucking party.
No, it's a bunch of grown men dancing with a child. Like, that does not look good.
Right.
Macaulay, what are you doing?
Well, he did sleep with Michael Jackson.
Is that
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. We're not trying to get in trouble here.
Oh. Okay, well, welcome back.
Yeah. I have a funny story if you don't mind indulging
Another
me
funny
for
story.
I know. Here we go. It's on the list. I have to go to it. So I recently upgraded to a new tablet.
Okay.
The tablet is the best invention, I think, of
You think so?
of my
Really?
30s. Yeah,
I feel
man.
like I've never had one, and I feel like I don't need one.
My phone is gigantic, so I
Yeah.
feel like I have a mini
You guys
tablet.
both have the big phones. I've got the smaller
Yeah.
one. I do have these tiny Trump-like hands. But man, the tablet, dude, I use my tablet every day. I'm a cheap ass. I'm
Well,
frugal.
I can already tell that it's not an iPad because no one refers to their iPad as a tablet.
They always have to say iPad.
You call them like you see them, Cameron, because I did have an iPad before. I bought it, I don't know, 5 years ago, and I got my money's worth. Like, it was hard to dish out I think like $500 for this thing, but I did, and I'll tell you what, I really got my money's worth. Well, as things do, it's not as good as it once was. It's slow, it's running out of space. I upgraded to a Samsung Galaxy S2 tablet. Blazing fast, wonderful, love it. So I decide, you know what? I'm going to sell my old one to supplement the cost of this new one.
Cushion the blow.
Yeah. So I clean it off. I wipe it. I erase it.
Sure. Get all the cum off of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like get a toothpick and get it out of all the crevices, speaker holes, and unplug the lightning adapter fleshlight doodad that's underneath. And I listed on Craigslist, and very fair price. And so I get an email like right after I list it, and it's from this young lady named Tashi. And we're emailing back and forth, and she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'm out in Choctaw." Told her, I did the Craigslist lie where I was like, I'm actually up in Edmond. We have to meet halfway, but that means meet in Oklahoma City where I live.
Right.
So she's like, okay, cool. I'll be in a Ford Econoline van that's got like the 2-foot extension on top.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like service vehicle. It's like a plumber's vehicle or something.
I think I know where this is going.
I meet this lady and I would assume a partner or friend or something in a parking lot. I pull up. And there's a dude, like the front of the van, the hood is open, and he's like pouring some antifreeze or something into this vehicle. And I get closer, I pull in, I'm like, whoa. And right before me, I see, and I don't mean this in any sort of like derogatory way, but could best be described in my simpleton brain as like the crust punk couple from Portlandia. Like full on, like face tattoos, piercings, the brown garb that has patches all over it.
Did they have a dog with a rope for a leash?
I didn't see a dog.
It was probably in the van.
Yeah.
I didn't see inside the van. So I pull up and man, I'm just going to be totally honest. I was like, what the fuck? Like, these crust punks have $175 to drop on a 5-year-old iPad? That's weird, And I pull up and man, I'm just being honest. Like, I was kind of like sketched out a little bit because I'm a scared white dude.
Right.
I was like, this is.
Did you meet them at an on-cue?
We actually met in a Buffalo Wild Wings parking lot.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. You were working there that day. No, I'm joking.
I mean,
could have been a live thing, right? On location. Do you do that shit?
Every once in a while, yeah.
Is it fun?
No. I mean, no, it's fun. It depends on what it is. I mean, I've never done a fun one, I don't think. But, like, I think sometimes they can be.
There will be a fun one.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely.
He's heard tale around the office.
Right,
It could be fun.
Right. I mean, most of the time it's just you're hanging out in a vape shop for 4 hours or whatever. But, like,
Wow.
But that serves a purpose.
That's a whole other story.
Hawking butt mugs. But continue.
These butt mugs aren't going to give themselves away. So I get out and I meet this girl and I meet the guy. And they're in like this traveling, folk punk band, like with the wash tubs and the stand-up bass and everything.
Okay.
And she tells me her last name and I go home and immediately like Google it because I'm like, oh, this is so weird and strange. But so I pull up. I'm like, hey, I got the iPad. And like there was a moment that I just wanted to like give it to him. But they weren't asking for anything free. They weren't like, what's the Portland? You got $1?
Yeah,
got $1?
$1?
$1? It wasn't that at all. I get out. She takes a look at it. She's like, oh, yeah, this is in really great condition. She's like, we're actually looking for something to record our demos on while we're touring. I was like, pretty solid. Okay. Mm-hmm. And she busts out this wad of cash, pays me the $175, my asking price for the iPad. We're talking about
She doesn't
music.
haggle.
No. I say, so you guys just passing through or what? She's like, yeah, more or less. She's like, we're from around here. We just kind of like move around, play shows. I'm like, where'd you play? And she was like, your mom's place?
Yep.
Are you familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was actually a weird amount of Facebook drama this week surrounding that place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have not seen.
Wait, surrounding your mom's place?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it wasn't nothing that interesting. But I'd never really heard of it before just seeing a long Facebook thread.
It's I've never been inside. My band's been asked several times to play it, and we're like, it's a beer bar, I'm assuming, off of like 30th in May.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like by the Bears 3020 Club?
No, on May.
Like across from like the big old-fashioned hamburger sign.
It's painted white, and then the Your Mom's Place is spray painted on it.
Have you ever been?
I never have.
Apparently, it's a punk rock bar.
Why wouldn't you play a punk rock bar?
I'll stop in. I'll check it. Here's the thing. I should probably go in and see it before I let my band play there.
Yeah. I do think in this Facebook thread, the dude was claiming that it's the only venue where the bands always get paid.
That's not true.
Really?
Which,
Blue Note bands always get paid.
Okay.
Yeah.
But maybe
at
your
the
mom's
very
place
least-
pays better. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, in the very least, bands do get paid. So, that's
There you
something.
So I learned something from this experience. I was like, number one, never judge a book by its cover.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, the old adage rings true.
Sure.
And secondly, I was like, wow, these crust punks like have money? It was interesting to me. I don't know.
You never heard of a trust fund crust punk?
They were, man, these people were pretty crusty. And I mean that like in the best way possible.
Were they younger crust punks or like aged crust punks?
They were
There is a
probably
difference.
between Cameron's age and my age.
Okay, so
somewhere in
let's say
there.
32.
Yeah, I was going to say late 20s to early 30s,
Okay.
somewhere in there.
But how much of that crust was just having been on tour and living out of their van for a
Exactly.
long period of time?
I mean, they had like the patches with the white stitching and dreadlocks. And again, the face tattoos. Like the dude was so friendly. Like
They
he
lived
came
it.
out and we were just bullshitting about music and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, they brought up the shop.
Mm-hmm.
They, oh, we played there before. And I was like, oh yeah, I've had a band that's played there and blah, blah, blah. And your band's played there and stuff.
yeah.
And I was just like, they were so friendly and so nice. Then I kind of had this like embarrassing moment where I was like, kind of feeling cool, like hanging out in a parking lot, talking to these guys. Like
Just at a B-Dubs parking lot talking to some crust punks.
Yeah, dude. So, you're making some money.
It's like a Portlandia sketch, and then the next thing you know, like your new Levi's jacket's taken off, and now you're wearing like
I cut the sleeves
off, and like you kind of got
totally.
them dirty.
Yeah.
And you're sitting outside going, "Got $1?"
On my iPad.
Mm-hmm.
Or on my iPad money.
And then you there goes my phone. And you scrape up your dollars, and you get in your fucking Chevy Spark, and you fucking drive away. Not a Spark.
Or buy an iPad. Like that. I don't know. It was an interesting moment. And I feel like I really walked away from that experience, A, with money.
Right.
And B, with a newfound respect. And it goes to this like bank I have in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
I have this like crust punk fantasy of like being a street kid,
Right.
but I'm way too clean and I'm way too like anal retentive about everything.
Do you think that may stem from listening to punk rock when you were younger to your Shadowrun, post-apocalyptic, futuristic kind of a thing too?
100%.
Blend those two together.
Yeah, because even when I was young, like I was never punk. I liked certain punk music,
Mm-hmm.
usually of the more, friendly variety.
Skate punk, Epitaph kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
skate punk, pop punk, all that stuff. I always flirted with the idea of like, man, I'm going to like wear the like lock around my neck and be like, fuck you, everybody. But then there's always the part of me that's like, always kind of played it safe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've always like I think crust punk, like the way everybody looks and like the dogs and the camaraderie and the jug band.
To be honest, man, the not giving a fuck, I respect the shit out of
Yeah.
that. Like, they don't fucking care. They won't, I mean, it smells bad, but they won't shower. They won't change their clothes. They're just like, fuck it. Why? Why do I care? I'm like, good on you. You got one life on this rock.
Do you think there's a moment though, like where you just own the BO?
I think so.
And you own the dreadlocks and you own the face tattoos and the gauges and the piercings and everything.
I think once you tat your face, you kind of have to own whatever it is you're doing.
This dude had like from the bottom of his lower eyelids, like spikes.
Jesus.
Like some God of War, Game of Thrones, like tribal looking shit
Okay.
on his face. And I was like, man, okay. It's one thing to grow out some dreadlocks or like wear a patch or like a leather jacket or a jean jacket. But to get a fucking face tattoo, like
Yeah.
that's...
Well, the thing is with the crust punk look, all of that shit takes time and meticulous attention. Like, you can't just grow dreads. Like, that shit takes a long time. You have to form them, make sure they don't fall out, make sure they're not shitty. Because a lot of them, they have really good dreads. Have you ever tried patching shit on your jacket?
Yeah, it looks like shit. It looks completely terrible.
But they always look fucking great. Like some Martha Stewart patched all their shit on. Other than that, they don't wash their clothes in that shit. But all that shit, there's an attention to detail somewhere.
I wonder if the crust punk look is this weird derivative of like the Fish culture or like the Grateful Dead parking lot hippie. Because those people didn't give a fuck either.
Sure.
They lived by their own rules. March to the beat of their own drum, as they say.
Mhm.
Is that just a different? Is it a derivative or is it completely different?
I think it's kind of along the same.
Yeah, it probably comes from the same place somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But they would probably be insulted to think that.
Right.
Like, to not be, because that's not probably where they specifically came from. It's
Right.
just where the culture at large probably came
Right.
from.
But what explains the uniform, quote unquote? And I'm not just talking about like punk, but like a lot of people.
Sure.
Like, man, like there's a huge crowd of people in Oklahoma City. I have friends in this crowd that like they all kind of dress the same. They all
Both of us are wearing Levi's jackets right now.
We totally are. Mine is brand new.
Yeah.
And I was trying to be cool and I bought a tiny jacket hoping I'd lose a little weight.
Sure.
Going back on the diet.
But it looks good.
It's getting there. It's a little stand up by itself.
You
right
gotta
now.
slap some patches on it.
I'm getting there. I put a pin on there. That's
Pins are good.
the first step.
Yeah, buttons and pins.
I don't know, Cameron, you're a pretty like well put together dude.
Sure.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, you're clean. You have nice straight hair.
Right.
I dig it.
Yeah, I shower every single day
Yeah.
without exception. Yeah. Man. But I think if I wanted to have dreads, I think I could very easily.
Sure.
Like my hair is oily as fuck. I feel like I have dreads if I don't shower like 2 days or like for like 2 days.
You ever flirted with the idea?
Never.
No,
Not even a little bit.
Yeah, no.
I feel like, there's the kind of weird cultural appropriation thing that comes along with being a white person with dreadlocks.
Right.
And then also it's just like, no, that's gross. Though I did, last week I went and saw and interviewed this band called Gemini Syndrome.
Like
who,
Gemini or Jim and I?
Gemini. Like
Jim and I.
Like the horoscope.
Okay.
And they're like a hard rock band, whatever. And their lead singer is albino.
Okay.
And he has dreadlocks. So it's like somehow that was excused in my mind because like if you're albino, you got
you got shit into the stick.
Yeah, you could fucking have dreadlocks.
You
But
got
like
do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But usually my rule is Rob Zombie is the only white dude that should be allowed to have dreadlocks, and I don't exactly know why he should be an exception.
Any dude who can pull off that fucking dumb cowboy hat, like
with like zebra print,
or
patches
whatever he wants
on
on
it.
it.
well, a guy who wears the giant cowboy hat with zebra print, goggles on it, while also wearing sunglasses, so the goggles have no function.
Well, it's in case there's like a dust storm.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
He kind of had a crust look, like a crust punk
White Zombie
look.
was definitely along those
Like
lines.
crust metal? They weren't even metal.
I have a big soft spot for early White Zombie,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not talking like Nightcrawler, like
Astro Creep?
super. I'm talking Los Exorcisto,
Sure.
Astro Creep. Those two albums as a kid.
Well, that's actually late White Zombie, isn't it? Because isn't that their last record? Then Rob Zombie went solo.
You know what? I guess in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
you're right. Because I guess early White Zombie is truly like really, really deep.
Like out of the New York art scene. Like
Have
weird.
you seen like the box set, the White Zombie box set? Our friend Austin has it, and they had this huge career before any of that, which I had no idea about. And there was this weird tie-in with like art rock.
Yeah, they were like weird NYU art students. That
Yeah.
like it was like just as much performance art as they were a rock band.
Like almost like a psychedelic Dayglow Sonic Youth metal butt rock conglomeration of all these different
And
things.
then it somehow turned into, yeah,
Well, I've said it once and I'll say it again. Like the Thunderkiss 65 video
good
is
video.
probably the coolest style of any band personally that I've ever seen. It's like you mix this like horror movie,
Mm-hmm.
kind of a crust punk kind of nastiness,
Mhm.
and then like jester hats or some sort of weird like Mad Hatter thing
Right.
going on.
it's a little like rave culture before that was a thing.
Yeah. There's a lot
Right.
of day glow, but also dark and satanic and weird. And it's like, as a kid, man, I ate that shit up. And then you got like Rob Zombie's art, like his drawings and stuff. And all, like, I fucking love that. And there is that little bit of like cyberpunk kind of post-apocalyptic.
yeah.
I think it was the goggles.
Well, and
I
the
think it was
bass
the
player,
goggles.
she was the long knee-high striped neon green stocks, like that
Yeah.
kind of shit. Like, yeah, it was definitely a look.
Lots of patches,
Yeah,
lots of jean jackets. Again, with the sleeves cut
Sleeveless.
off. Yeah, sleeveless for sure.
sleeveless.
Let's do it, Cameron. Let's cut our sleeves off.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Right now, yeah.
You don't
got
have
some
one?
scissors.
I've got a jean jacket that I cut the sleeves off of.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's got a no effects and an alkaline trio patches.
But
and
your
shit on it.
arms get cold?
No, you put a hoodie on underneath it, man.
So you destroy a jacket to wear another jacket underneath it.
Bingo. I would say when I wear that, it's kind of it's a clean crust look. It's a it's a suburban crust.
It's the crustless crust punk.
Yes, it just came out of the laundry. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to make sure there's no stains or everything's creased and everything looks nice. Not creased, but not a nice new sharp, bright black T-shirt. I don't do it with the browns.
It's like an uncrustable.
Uncrustable.
Decrusted crust punk. Decrusted.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's new? So besides your stint on The Katt,
100.5 The Katt.
you're also a stand-up comedian.
I am, yeah.
And how's that going for you?
I mean, I guess it goes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
you've been around
I'm
a long time, man. Like I've seen your name. I'm really happy to sit down and talk with you tonight because I've seen your name for years, years in the Oklahoma comedy scene. So where are you at? If you could sum it up, where are you at in your journey as a stand-up comedian right now?
I don't know. It's a weird place. I mean, I just recorded an album at the end of last year that I'm kind of putting together now. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, I haven't really focused that much on comedy lately. I mean, I still am doing it a couple times a week, but it hasn't been kind of the main driving force of my life that it was for a very long time.
Right.
So it's hard for me to really say. Yeah. But I still do, the OKC comedy stuff is me, Brad, Chad, and Spencer, and we're busy putting together our year right now, booking a shitload of shows and whatnot.
Dude, that's so awesome because you've all been on Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And Spencer was great. Brad Chad was,
It's Brad
Chad. Yeah.
You gotta get old dad in here. Come on. And then you've been wonderful.
Yeah, take the dip out of your mouth before you talk into the microphone.
Yeah, seriously, the dick.
Yeah.
That too.
Mm-hmm. That too. Both things.
Right. But yeah, so I don't really know. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing comedy for 10 years now. So like,
and you moved to Austin for a while.
I was in New York for a while, and I was in Austin for a while.
Oh, New York first?
Yeah.
And how'd that go?
It was good. I mean, I was just chasing my then girlfriend around, basically.
So did she move to New York?
Been
Austin?
there.
She did, yeah.
Okay.
So we moved to together to New York, and then together from New York to Austin, and then we broke up in Austin, and that's when I came back here.
How long after you broke up did it take for you to come back?
Like 9 months.
Oh, so a while.
Well, yeah,
okay.
Ish. Yeah, maybe a little longer than that. It might be almost a year.
But, so you threw some tabs out while you were in Austin.
Exactly. Yeah. Just walking around 6th Street, just
tossing tabs.
I can just see like a proud young Cameron like strutting down 6th Street with a fucking necklace full of tabs,
just tossing tabs to all the
just tab tossing, just
to all those crust punk girls on 6th Street. Actually, they're all on the drag, but
yeah, they moved to the east side now, right?
Well, the crust punks I think are still on the drag, or at least they were.
Right.
But yeah, all the hipsters moved to the east side.
Yeah, they did. I lived in Austin very briefly many years ago. We visit often. In fact, Josh and I went down there not too long ago. And I love it, but man, it has changed so much. Like, when's the last time you've been?
It's been like a year since I've been back down there, but I know that it's. I mean, it changed just in the years that I lived there,
dude. Like the amount of high rises and the traffic and everything. It's like, I'm not from there, so I can't be some purist or anything. Like,
right?
Don't Dallas my Austin or whatever they say here in Oklahoma. Don't Edmond my Norman, I think is the thing.
Yeah,
but it's like it's just not as fun anymore.
I mean,
maybe I'm older. I don't know.
Yeah, when I moved there, my rent for like a 1-bedroom apartment was $350 a month.
Damn.
When I left, it was $1,000.
Shit.
And then that's less than 4 years. It went up more than 3 times.
Insane.
Yeah, or 3 times, whatever that was.
For a 1-bedroom.
For a 1-bedroom apartment, yeah. So it's basically, I was paying more in Austin than I was in New York.
Really?
Jesus.
Yeah, the end of Austin, I was paying more than what I paid in New York.
Well, got to keep it weird.
Just, right? With, as you work at Dell and Apple and all the tech places that have overrun Austin.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
There was, I believe, Bethesda video game studios located in Austin.
Probably.
And that was like when I lived down there, like I really wanted to get a job there.
Oh, go work on Fallout.
Yeah, like, so bad. But I was like, I'm not that good, but maybe they'll hire me to pass out the mail. Like, is there still mail guys? Is there email guys?
There's probably an email guy.
There's a tech guy for sure, like an IT guy.
See, I could have scraped by.
Yeah, IT is the new mail guy.
Just install the routers or whatever.
Yeah. Or be like, hey, or just go to people's computer and be like, hey, buddy, you got an email? Hey, I'm just passing out emails.
What was that? Was like an SNL sketch with Jimmy Fallon, the IT guy?
It was the IT guy that would like make fun of you because you couldn't fix your own computer.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it.
Me neither.
It was like the condescending IT guy or something like that.
I don't know.
Do you have like greasy hair or something
Yeah,
like that?
and
Yeah.
he had like a mustache, like a pencil thin mustache.
He had like a little crustache
Yeah.
and greasy hair, and he was just like, "Oh, you don't even know how to reset the HTTP proxy," or I don't even know.
He's
what
just
that
being
is,
snarky to Horatio Sands or something like that.
That's exactly it. Which to me was
the
a
golden days.
was a rehash of the making copies.
It was. It was a
guy.
new making copies.
I always wanted to make a copy.
Yeah.
Yes.
You wanted to be a guy that went in and made a copy?
Kind of, because when I was young, my name's Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, I wanted to go by Rob.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how that goes. So when I was very, very young.
So wait, you wanted to be Rob Schneider?
Well, when I was very young, I was Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
My dad is Rob. I'm a junior.
Right.
So he was Big Rob and I was Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I grew up and I was like, I want to be Rob. Rob sounds like a man's name. Robbie sounds like a boy.
Mm-hmm.
And then right about the time I hit 21, I was like, I want to be Robbie again. Like that sounds young and cool. And now I'm Robbie from here on out.
So wait, was it Hot Topic where your name tag was RAWB?
It was Rob. Well, but it was no.
Sorry.
RAW-B.
Oh, okay.
So it was Robbie,
Oh, okay.
which was cool, right?
I thought you were doing like Rob, but Robbie, yeah, that is cool.
Like Robbie.
Well, when you're working at Hot Topic, you got to have a cool name tag.
Well, did they make you have a cool name tag at Hot Topic?
No.
Okay.
But I did. I remember that there was the little like label maker in the back. and
Oh
you could
yeah.
Make your,
yeah.
And I was like, Rob, that just sounds so boring and Christian. And I was like, Robbie, that sounds juvenile. How about RAW-B?
That's pretty cool.
Until one joker that I worked with decided to add the word "utthole" after B. So my name tag said Rob Butthole.
Well, it's not far from the truth.
Well, I do have stomach issues, but I wore it around for like a week
No.
until the regional manager came through and was like, "Son."
Was it one of these Guy Fieri looking dudes?
No, it was actually a very, very attractive young lady who I think went on to be a suicide girl.
Sure, well, they all do.
But yeah, it was like, she was like, you can't have Rob Butthole on
But no,
your name
I
tag.
feel like Rob Butthole is exactly who I want to buy my Power Man 5000 t-shirt from.
Right.
Like, I feel like it's right on brand.
Absolutely.
I get my industrial,
Hey.
jewelry.
Or was she just like, hey, this isn't Spencer's. We can't.
She's like, we've got ethics.
Yeah.
All right. She was like, listen, Rob Butthole. We have people think we're weird. People think we're Satanists. But you can't have a name like that.
You should have been like,
that's the we're owned by the Gap showing through.
The Gothic Gap.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
they're owned by the Gap?
I think somewhere in the umbrella.
Yeah, it's like Gap, Old Navy, and
Fucking
Banana Republic, and Hot
posers.
Topic. Like half the mall is. There's like 3 companies that own the entirety of the
Yeah.
mall.
Which is really genius.
sure.
Like, you want to talk about cornering the market, cornering the wing of the mall. Like, get your Champs, get your Hot Topic, get your, Sephora, own it all.
Sunglass Hut. Just wheel them
Was
all
there
in.
ever a Hot Topic competitor?
Spencer's Gifts became one. Because Spencer's used to be, it was just, we're going to sell over the hill stuff and dick merchandise and
Playboy posters.
Playboy,
and,
the black lights, and then dumb hats with tits on them and butt mugs and that kind of shit. And then when Hot Topic came in, like, oh, we gotta change this up. They started selling band t-shirts and
Yep.
band posters and more shit that was rock and roll oriented.
Yeah. When's the last time you've been into a Spencer Gifts?
I think the last time I went to Spencer's Gifts was with you. I think we were walking through the mall and we just like, let's step in here for nostalgia's sake.
Man.
I think the real question would be, because I would imagine all of us probably go to a Spencer's Gifts once a year. Like whenever you're at the mall and you have half an hour to kill or whatever,
Yeah.
you're going to step in. The real question is when you last purchased something from Spencer's Gifts.
Jesus. Truth be told, I used to buy all my band t-shirts from Spencer's Gifts when I was like 12.
Were they $3 cheaper than Hot Topic or something?
It was the Spencer's Gifts in Heritage Park Mall.
Mm-hmm.
They had 3 round hanging racks, and they were the clearance section, and all the shirts were like $9.99, and then they'd do half off of half.
Yep.
So you can get a shirt for like $5. And back in that day, an XL, like a big shirt, was in.
That's what you wore, yeah.
So I could just buy. I think I bought 3 or 4 Silverchair t-shirts, 3 or 4 Green Day t-shirts, like a Smashing Pumpkin shirt. So you just get them all, like $20. I just won the fucking band t-shirt lotto.
Well, and you were the cool kid at school. Like you had all these fresh, crispy band shirts.
Oh, sure. We had a feud.
Oh, we did. We
T-shirt
did.
feud.
Yeah, we went to junior high and high school together.
Which school was this?
Choctaw.
Oh, okay.
Choctaw junior high. And saw you in the hallway one day. I was in my locker putting up some books.
You had that bitchin' silver chair Dalai Lama t-shirt on.
Oh, I was so proud of that shirt.
Yeah.
Because, growing up in like a Christian household, like that was kind of like, whoa. Like,
did you go to school with the hoodie zipped up over that so your parents couldn't see it?
More or less. Yeah. I definitely, held my toaster strudel in front of my shirt on the way out to the bus, so they didn't see like the Dalai Lama.
Yeah, my parents weren't happy with me.
They weren't into that shit.
Oh, they love Jesus.
But yeah, so Josh came up to me in the hall and the back of the t-shirt had the track listing.
Yeah, for the Frog Stomp record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
great record.
And Josh comes up and he's like,
oh, I had just I've got the cassette tape at the BX, which is the Bass Exchange on Tinker. So I just got it like a week before that and I'm like going through my jams. And so on the back of the shirt, I'm like, oh, dude, I like that song's awesome. I like that song. I like that one. Robert turned around and goes, I like them all. Like, fuck
and
you.
To this day.
And I think that was like the first time we ever had like verbal interaction with one another.
You're like,
oh,
man,
you guys became friends over Silverchair.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I would say Silverchair, NoFX, a bunch of other.
Silverchair's a weird band because they're like U2 in Australia.
They're big.
Like they're fucking huge in Australia.
Are they still big?
I don't know. Like as of like 10 years ago, I don't think
they
they've had a
broke up.
record. Yeah,
they broke up. They had what was this?
Straight Line.
Straight Line was the last record.
They got Diamonds.
They got weird. Like so, they did Frog Stomp, which was We Want to Be like Pearl Jam and all that.
But
shit.
they were like 15 at the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember reading like Guitar World, like, oh, Daniel Johns has to like leave the club right after they play because he's like underage or whatever.
Well, they got their record deal. I guess in Australia, there's not a lot of bands, so there was like it was like the Katt. Like what was that thing they did on the Buzz local band contest?
Sure.
They did one of those,
Open
and
Buzz Fest, whatever.
And Silverchair won it, and they got a record. Like they can go record a record, and that's how they recorded Frog Stomp. So yeah, from there they kept making these. It started getting a little more and more weird till it just like, fucking, it's just. I don't like when bands get weird.
They all do though. They all do, except 311.
No, 311 started weird and they stayed weird.
Yeah, dude.
They never strayed away from those fucking just chops.
Yeah, they're good. That doesn't even have to be discussed. Like it's a given.
So Silverchair was one of those bands that it's a guilty pleasure, I guess, but I don't feel guilty about it. I can say that I liked Silverchair. Mm-hmm. I love 311. I liked the band Lit when they were popular.
Yeah, you did.
I did. I owned all of their albums.
And their bowling shirts.
I did. I had a Lit, actually it was a wife beater.
The Summerlands tour that played Riverwind this summer was a goddamn blast, it was Lit, Everclear, and Sugar Ray.
That's a hell of a lineup.
That sounds great.
It was awesome.
Honestly.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Because I think people that go to those shows are seriously just there to have a good time. Mm-hmm. There's no pretense.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
There's no fashion show. There might be like an old dude with like some like kind of haggard, lady hanging on. But it's not a testosterone fest. There's nothing to prove. We just want to sing the hits.
Yeah, I just want to sing my own worst enemy at the top of my lungs, man.
Yeah. And each band only played like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
So it was like hits. They were just in and out hits. Like Lit, maybe there's a little bit of struggle because they only got to have 3. Mm-hmm. But like Everclear was solid hits, and then Sugar Ray was solid hits.
Oh, I can guarantee I would sing along to every single Lit song they played because I was a fan.
Well, we went to
the Summerland. It was Everclear,
Eve 6, Space Hog,
and Soul Asylum.
Yeah. It was great.
Soul Asylum, the only original member was the singer, the guy who wrote everything, and his backing band was just phenomenal.
Yeah, they were like the same band that went on okay, we're leaving. We got to go play America's Got Talent the next day. Like just these perfectly trained
session dudes.
Best session dudes from Minneapolis or whatever. Yeah.
And like the drummer, of course, is like just this huge black dude and just killing it without even moving.
But the thing at that show, okay, I was going to ask you how the River one was because at this one it was at the Fire Lake. And it was like, it looked like a Life Church kind of a vibe. And there were seats, but you can stand up and you couldn't go up front. So there was an area for a pit, but you can't go up there.
Yeah, this is the same way. So yeah, it's like a theater that you just stand with your, like in front of your seat.
That's weird to me.
I think maybe they let you go up front if you wanted to, but most people just stand in front of their seat.
See, and I say that, I say like, I wouldn't want to go up front, but every time I go to a show now, like at the Diamond or at Cane's or whatever, I stand as far back
Yeah.
while still getting a good view,
Mm-hmm.
and close to the bar so I can grab a beer.
What I do is I walk up to the back of the crowd. Like, because I don't want to be in the very back. Like, let's say Diamond Ballroom, for example. Like, the last show I went there was Coheed.
Mhm.
Coheed and Saves the Day. So I get there, and like, it's a pretty good crowd. It wasn't sold out. It wasn't just crazy packed, but it was a good crowd. But yeah, as soon as the band starts playing, like, you get your drink, you're with your group of friends, and like, I don't want to be that dad that's like sitting down in the folding chairs in the back.
Oh boy.
No.
But like, I definitely don't want to be in the front. I definitely don't want to get kicked in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I was just like, I'm going to just kind of like, again, it's that crust punk fantasy coming through. It's like,
Mhm.
I'm going to like belly up to the crowd, but if there's a mosh pit,
Backing up.
Back up, yeah.
I'm going to go check the merch table.
Well,
I'll
be sure.
back.
Yeah, be sure your back perimeter is open to do a backup. You don't want to have people behind you because if a pit does push, and then now you're in the middle of it. You're at the very end, outer region of the pit.
Dude, and there's nothing worse than being caught in the mosh pit.
No.
Did you ever go through a stage where you wanted to mosh?
Never. No, I always have been like, what? Like, come on, guys. Like, like I would never.
So you were always in the dad spot right outside of the crowd.
No, I mean, I would be like next to the pit, like, but like it was just what we're talking. Like, I've always stood, even when I was 14.
You take
there
that
was-
giant step back, like, all right, you guys do your thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was never into that. Never wanted to be pushed or kicked.
Oh, I fucking lived for the pit.
You moshed?
Dude, I fucking loved it. I loved going to punk rock shows and being like, and you're just being squeezed in the sweat, and then like dudes. I mean, I love dudes' armpits in my face.
I was about to say, what are you talking
No,
about?
I don't. But it's there's something getting your feet stepped on. But it's a young man's game. Like at that age, you're just so filled with fucking adrenaline and like just
Come.
endorphins and
So what would you
just
be at, like the
come.
green door and just like,
Well, no, it was like going to like the Diamond, going to
Okay.
like MXPX or obviously, other punk rock shows.
Mhm.
It was just being in the midst of that. It's fucking crazy. Like the first time I ever went to I mean, we would go to like outer cafe shows and things like that. My first actual like show was at Star 7 Discotheque. I was 13, and it was MXPX, 90 Pound Wuss, Stave Saker, and another band. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I didn't know where to stand. Stood right up in the front, and then it all started. I was like, what is this? And it was like a what do you call that? A baptism of mosh. And I felt like that was fucking awesome. I loved it. Now,
Like a rite of passage.
but there was a time, and I believe I was like 25 when I was like, I'm gonna do it, get in. Like I was still doing it, and it was that moment of a dude's armpit coming up, and just getting that overwhelming feeling of like I can't breathe. Step to the back, and as soon as I step out of it, I look at the crowd and I go, oh, okay, well, I've made that journey. I'm done. I'm not doing that ever again.
Well, see, I think that none of us are necessarily like very huge guys. Like we're all like kind of middle of the road guys.
Right.
I remember being young, and it never failed that anytime I went to a concert, like when I went to see System of a Down and Slayer,
Sewed.
of course, every time I went to a concert or Korn or Limp Bizkit or whatever, I've said Limp Bizkit. Like
I know
3
you
times
said it
on this
properly.
podcast.
You're a big fan,
you
yeah.
you said Bizkit.
Oh, that's-
you pronounced it properly.
How it's spelled.
if I were just listening to this specific episode, I would think 311's your number one and Limp Bizkit's your number two.
You wouldn't be far from the
No,
truth.
yeah, you're on to something here, but it would never fail that Andre the Giant bought the ticket right behind me every time. Fat guy in a leather jacket with his elbow on my shoulder, like,
Dick
"Hey,
move."
buddy, you like enjoying the show?" It's like, "Yeah, Jolly Green Giant, don't fucking kill me." Like, I'm just trying to watch a band.
I was actually I went to a bunch of metal shows in high school, and like I remember at like Bricktown Live
Oh,
or
yeah.
Green
Oh,
Door,
yeah.
and there was one, and maybe you guys have seen this guy, a massive native guy
Mm-hmm.
that would just stroll through the pit, like wouldn't be in, like would literally was just so massive no one could like do anything to him.
I know who you're talking about.
So he would just go back and forth through the pit, just kind of like turning his head and just like ruling the pit without doing anything.
Yes.
Again, this
He's
is
a good dude.
this is we are drawing a line between adolescence, this coming of age thing,
Right.
and prison. Like it's like a dude just walking across the yard. Like no one's gonna even
Don't fuck with
try
him.
to fuck
Nope.
with me because I'm towering over everyone. It's insane. Man, I had a point a second ago and I lost it. What do you say?
I want to know the new 89th Street
Yes.
can't have a pit there. I don't think. Because where the stairs are, do they do it above in the next level now, or like?
Well, no, I think where they moved the stage, we had Nick Hampson on a couple of episodes ago, and I was telling him like I liked the way they moved the stage. The way he has the stage, I think that's a perfect spot to have a pit because you give like a natural, literal
it's so
pit
tiny,
to it.
right?
Right, but I mean it's elongated, so it's
okay.
It's a vertical pit.
Right, it's a girthy pit, but not a deep pit. Like it's
it's wide, not deep.
It's a grower,
but like you couldn't do like a circle pit sort of thing. I don't think. Really
it's more of an oval pit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get this fucking oval. What? Get this oval going. The band just stops. What?
Well, that's because he was saying like we were asking like what's the most popular shows you have, and he said it's like metal shows.
Yeah, metalcore.
And that it was the back of my head. I'm like, okay, but how do you do pits there? I mean, I guess it is more of an oval pit. Every time I go to shows, it's like rock and roll or indie kind of stuff. So people just kind of do the arms crossed or the beer in hand, one arm under your other arm. No one really moves.
Yeah.
I still haven't been to a crowded show since they moved the stage. I'm sure I know there have been.
Gotta go to metalcore shows, man.
Apparently so, yeah. It's like there's
the Get Up Kids show was pretty crowded.
Right.
That was the most crowded. They had like a reunion tour or whatever. And that was the most crowded I've seen 89th Street since they moved the stage from the old conservatory location over to the, I guess, whatever wall that is, the south wall or whatever. It was pretty crowded. I mean, it wasn't like assholes to elbows, but it was pretty crowded. But as the night went on, more and more people kind of like just went out to the smoking section.
Yeah.
Which is nice that they have like this like enclosed place to keep you.
Yeah.
I think the most crowded show I've been to since they've changed it around is the Ben Nichols, the lead singer of Lucero.
Oh yeah.
Which there's no danger of a pit breaking out.
No.
It's there were a bunch of kids
dudes
there,
like
so yeah.
I would just imagine dudes our age like. You know that thing where you hold your beer against your chest and you got your baseball cap on and you're just like nodding?
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. And then young kids.
Maybe an occasional beer up, like sing along and then right back down.
Or throw your arm around your buddy and sing along.
And that's it.
Okay. So I have we have to wrap up here soon, but I have a quick game experiment I'd like to do.
Okay.
So I just kind of thought this up off the top of my dickhead. I wanted to, since you're kind of a rock aficionado, I kind of wanted to go back and forth with Josh here, and I would like to name a beer, and then Cameron, you name the band that would best be associated with that beer.
Oh, okay.
So like actually associated, or like
anywhere in between. It could be like in a fantasy, reality, anywhere in between. So we'll take this nice and slow.
So you say beer, I say beer.
Well, and this is nice. I'll start. So I'm gonna say we'll start off with Miller Lite. And then you name a band.
See, I feel like I'm not going to be good at this because I don't know.
It's an experiment.
Yeah. Well, help me out. Because, like, what would you like?
I would say like Godsmack.
All right, fair enough.
See, I feel like Miller Lite is more country than that.
You think?
It's a good point. Good point.
Maybe like a country rock band,
like Kid Rock.
Like it might be like a Kid Rock.
That is definitely Kid Rock.
This is a Kid Rock. Yeah, it's a Kid Rock.
But then you go, then what would like Bud Light be? It's still Kid Rock. Like.
Uncle Cracker.
All right. Fair enough. All right. You're next.
Shit.
Actually, let's just open up the pit here.
Let's
open up
the
oval pit. And so somebody, we'll go around. We'll do a round robin.
Rolling Rock.
Well, Rolling Rock used to have that music festival. They had the Rolling Rock Town Fair.
Did they really?
Yeah, in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, which I guess is where Rolling Rock is from.
Okay.
And I remember VH1 broadcasted it live one day, and it was coincidentally live.
There you go.
I was going to say live.
And then I think STP, but like Scott Weiland at his most heroined out.
I can see that with Rolling Rock for sure.
Like it was like the Shangri-La tour STP.
That's Rolling Rock right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so your turn. Name a beer.
Let's do Steel Reserve.
Oh God, is rap included?
I mean, I think it would have to be. It's
I was gonna say Buck Cherry.
All right, fair enough. All right, let me name a beer. Let's go Guinness.
Well, that's got to be like Flogging Molly or Dropkick Murphys, right?
Yeah.
This game is easy. This game is easy.
Is it? Anthem Golden one. So think locally.
Golden, man. I don't know what's an anthem rock band. You got it? You naming your own band?
No. I lost it.
I was just gonna say like Anthem in general.
Anthem in general, yeah.
And these craft breweries are kind of harder.
It's a tough one.
Yeah,
So let's go a national chain,
All right.
an actual beer. Coors Original Yellow Belly Banquet Beer.
Man, that's like a Skinnered beer. Like I'm getting like some
That is pretty
dad,
Skinnered,
yeah, like
Really?
slightly racist. Yeah.
That's weird though, because Colorado, or to me, Coors is so Colorado, and that's not like Skinner would be.
What are you
know?
thinking? What?
I was trying
Who's
to think of something.
A Colorado band. I don't know.
I feel like all Colorado bands would be more like some sort of drug, like a Widespread Panic or something. Is like a Colorado band in my mind, but they're not
That's
a Coors
not
band
beer.
at all.
Yeah, no.
They might be. Wilco? I don't know. They're not Colorado, but it kind of has that vibe.
I'm just trying to think. Like if I crack a Coors Original, what do I want to listen to?
Ah,
Thinking like
okay.
Three Dog Night or something. I don't know.
Like
Maybe
some Nazareth,
That's good.
that's good.
That's good.
All right, Cameron, you're up. Nick.
Newcastle.
Man, this is a lot. Actually, this is harder than I
Oasis.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go. All right, this is an easy one. Just classic Budweiser.
Bud Original. Chevelle.
Chevelle. That's why is that work somehow?
I don't know.
that works. Favorite thing. I went to the Texas Mutiny Festival this summer.
That sounds
fuck is
like a
that?
rager.
It's
That's
yeah.
racist. It does, right? It totally, or is it just me?
I mean, I could see where you're going, but it was more.
Was
I
it at the
think-
Motor Speedway?
It was a Texas Motor Speedway,
I fucking
which
called it.
sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That's like a music festival in the
Mhm.
Oh, it's not. It's just one that's set up in the parking lot of the. Like it was so like.
Remember when Metallica did the? Was it Love? What of them had Fuel on it? Give me Fuel, give me fire, give me da 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 da.
Sure, that was Reload.
Reload.
Okay.
So they did that tour, and they only played motor speedways. And they played Dallas Motor Speedway, and I wanted to go, but I was like, where do you play?
See, I saw Metallica at Texas Stadium with Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, Deftones. And
I believe you mean
Mudvayne.
Limp Bizkit.
Wow.
Yes.
Can we rewind that for a second? I'm just kidding.
Bizkit.
Was it good?
I mean, I certainly thought it was, but it was the Limp Bizkit tour that didn't have Wes Borland. Like it was that weird period where they had the dude from Snot.
Yeah, not the same.
But yeah, and Linkin Park recorded their Live in Texas DVD at this show.
Oh, okay.
And
and,
like,
it
did
was-
they play at night at least?
No, they were during the
Oh,
day.
no.
So the DVD was during the day.
No one wants to see that.
A daytime
No,
concert
yeah.
DVD? No.
Lincoln Park in 105 degree heat.
Yep.
Okay, Sugar
in the
Ray.
parking lot of a
Well, no, in the football
Oh,
stadium.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Sugar Ray, I would like to see during the day at DVD. That's
on a beach with
Sure.
like bikini girls walking around. Of course,
Linkin Park doing a nighttime DVD is like watching Ozzy Osbourne put out a 3-disc that's at like 10 in the morning in like fucking Sheboygan.
Like he's taking Black Sabbath like way too literally. It's like, all right, 9 a.m. Sunday morning. The King of Darkness comes out.
Hope you're up.
Terrible.
Wake
All right,
up early.
let's get back to our beer
Okay.
game
Oh, yeah.
here. Where were we?
I don't remember.
I'll go again.
Sure.
What's a good beer? What's one of them good beers?
What's in a good beers?
I'm gonna say Mickey's.
Oh, I had one and I dude, I'm lit. I'll go lit just because it seems like a trashy kind of you get them for $1
Yeah,
kind of a thing. There was a band I wanted to think of, but I can't. There was a band called Lucky Boys Confusion. They were not very good. It was that era when
really.
when labels were just starting to like just sign up anything that sounded like Blink-182 or Sum 41. They were trying to get that like pop punk vibe.
The golden days.
Golden days. And this band was called Lucky Boys Confusion, and they were really bad. And their album cover just had an Irish boxer on it, and that's why I'm thinking Mickey's.
Terrible. Let's
Google Lucky Boys
Let's flip
Confusion.
the game real quick.
Mhm.
So we'll go around real quick. We'll have 2 rounds of this, okay, and then we'll call it a night. Let's go. Let's name a band, and then we're gonna name the beer.
There you go.
Yeah,
Most
that's
as-
probably
That's
easier.
easier.
Right.
Yeah.
In retrospect, we've learned something tonight, but I'll let you go first, Cameron.
Bands that well, we were talking about let's do Soundgarden. I feel like that's a weird one.
Okay, I'm putting my Soundgarden on real quick here. Outshine, moonshine. I'm going moonshine.
You're gonna go
No, I
moonshine?
don't know. I'm thinking.
Dude, I'm thinking like for Soundgarden, it's not even beer. It's Beam 7-Star whiskey. Just a shitty whiskey.
All right.
I'm going like super unknown bad Motorfinger era.
All right. Fair enough. That's good. That's
But
good.
I feel like later, like the Black Hole Sun, like or that wasn't later. That was super unknown. But Like that. It's like
Are you talking about
it's
like
Zima.
down on the upside?
Down, or just anything like that is like Zima.
Some
like
sort of
Yeah,
like-
it's very Zima or what was it?
a fruity flavored
like
kind
not
of.
something
yeah.
clear.
All right, Josh, you're up.
Let's go with Weezer. It's easy though. I just gave that away.
What
what would it be?
what would be Weezer beer?
Just Heineken because of the song.
Oh,
What they-
Say it ain't so. Somebody's Heine.
Oh,
It's crud in my spot.
that's what that means?
Yeah. Did you not know that?
No.
Are you being serious?
I thought it was a butt mug, a chilled butt mug in the fridge.
Hey, whose butt mug's in the fridge?
Hey, Cameron's here. He left his butt mug in the fridge.
His butt mug of red wine.
No, his next to Sebastian Bach's
big gulp of
Yeah,
wine.
it's-
Bring it full circle.
his fucking Route 44 big swig or whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it up here.
Wrap it up.
Limp Bizkit.
Dude, fucking drink.
Really?
Purple drink.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking like Bush Light.
like a Milwaukee's best.
Yes.
Yes.
Like the trash.
No. Lost Lake Ice.
Oof.
We have a winner.
Yeah.
I wish I had a bell. I wish I had two bells.
Triple bellin'.
I'd love to bell that. Man, I was trying to think of one more just to wrap things up, and I fucking went blank. Man, damn it. Oh well.
What about Shut Up Matt Jewett? Local band I just apparently joined. We're playing a show
Do they-
February 24th.
Do they can come?
They can. We do drink a lot of cum.
I don't mind they jar cum more than they can it. It's more like a pickling process.
Yeah.
than
Like a mason jar or something? Yeah.
You're gonna put like I don't know.
Would you put vinegar or something in there?
Sparkling cum? Like would you carbonate
Isn't
it?
that just coconut LaCroix?
Oh,
Close enough.
it does taste like sparkling cum.
Shout out Taylor Vincent. I know you're listening to this. And with that, we wrap up the episode.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Cameron Buchholz. Thank you so much for
Cameron
coming
for
on.
coming
Thanks for
on.
having me.
Yeah, man, it was great. And here's to episode 42.
Coming up. Ooh, that's got significance.
It does. Why?
You ever read fucking Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, dude?
No.
All right.
Do you? Have you read Hitchhiker's?
I did. I don't remember. Is that the
42
number
is
of
the
everything
it's
that-
the
yeah.
meaning. It's the meaning of life, the universe, and
All
everything.
right. Well. All right. Here's
I only know that because from Most Def movie. That
Oh, it's a good movie too. Yeah, good movie.
Fair enough. Well, Cameron, thank you so much. I'll be sure to tune in to The Katt to listen to you
awesome.
count down those 20 hits.
Pure Rock 20 every Sunday night. 8 p.m.
What's the number one song right now?
It is Avenged Sevenfold. The Stage was last week's number one song.
You want to go out on that song?
Damn. Let's just sing it now. Go ahead.
Whoa! I don't know what it's Sevenfold
I
song.
think it's like when we're hitting the stage tonight, we're gonna hit it just right. Yeah.
That's not true. Bye.